look at that. These are absolutely delicious. That is perfect.
The Wild Grill is brought to you by Napoleon Grills, North Fork Bison,
Welcome to the Wild Grill. Today we are spicing things up and bringing the flavors of the Caribbean north. For our main, we'll be cooking up Jerk Elk Steaks, and that will be accompanied with Caribbean coconut rice. It's going to be delicious. And on the side of that, a beautiful fresh mango salsa. And then for dessert, we have coconut crusted pineapple. But first, let's kick it off by jumping straight into our appetizer, Caribbean spiced sweet potatoes. So my barbecue is now up to temp. We've burnt it off so my grills are clean and ready to go. Now let's jump into cutting up our sweet potatoes. Now, having a good knife for working with harder vegetables is a definite must for this. So we're gonna go in and cut that right into wedges for this recipe. Gonna have to put some elbow grease sometimes into these bad boys. So again, we just want them in wedges, nothing like McDonald's French fries types of size, but a little bit bigger than that. We love sweet potatoes in our home. We eat them all the time. And it's interesting, they actually come in over 1,000 varieties, which is absolutely amazing, and vibrant, beautiful colors as well. So from here, we're just gonna put our sweet potatoes right into our foil pan. And then we're gonna get the seasoning going with the oil, and then that'll add as our coating onto our pan. Excellent. All right, so for spicing it up, our mixture we have today to really embrace that Caribbean flavor profile we're going for is in this bowl. I already have combined cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, as well as our chili powder. So what we're going to do is we're going to add into this a couple tablespoons of olive oil, as well as a few tablespoons of honey. Love honey. So I'm going to give that a little bit of a mix there. Okay, now we're going to add in a few, probably about a teaspoon and a bit of our garlic. Time to mix that up. Oh, this is going to be a beautiful glaze. I'm loving the colors. It's nice, deep, rich brown. All right, that is mixing up nicely. Now all I have to do is add the juice of 1 lime. Okay, we'll stir that up. I want to get it really incorporated. You'll notice a little bit of separation, and this is completely normal. And now we're going to pour that on. Now we will get our tongs and give those a nice mix. Those are nice and coated. So now we're gonna get them on. I have my grill set at about medium to high, around 500. So once I get these in, they'll probably take around 15 minutes, but depending on how you like your sweet potatoes, just judge it by that. But we'll get them on and then we'll come back and check it in a bit. So my sweet potatoes should be done now. Let's take a quick peek. Oh yes. Let's get those off. I'll just put them right on here, and then they'll be ready to be served. All right, look at this, friends. Look at this. It is absolutely beautiful, and it just so happens I have a fork by. I need to eat this. Let's give it a little bit of a try. Look at that, I can cut right through it with my fork. My goodness. I can taste the lime. It has that zest coming through, but then the sweetness of the honey, and then from the sweet potato itself. And then we have the spice. What a beautiful balance.
This portion of the Wild Grill is brought to you by Grace Foods.
For most of us, when we think of Caribbean flavors, Jamaican jerk chicken comes to mind. However, today I wanted to share my take on this spicy flavor profile with jerk-style wild game. But first, I'm going to jump into getting my rice on because I want to get it cooking, and then we're going to marinate our steaks. My skillet is nicely heated, so now I'm going to grab our coconut oil, get that in the pan. Get that nice and melted. So the reason I'm using coconut oil is just to start that base of coconut flavor that I'm looking for. However, if you don't have coconut oil, feel free to use butter. That works just as well. Next, let's add in our ginger and our garlic. Okay. Ooh, you hear that sizzle? We're getting spicy already. Next, let's throw in our rice. Get that on. I have about 2 cups of rice here. And let's give that a stir to coat all of those flavors from the ginger and the garlic right into our rice. All right, now let's start adding in our liquids. We're going to start with just 1 cup of water. And next we're going to add in our coconut water. Okay, let's get the lid on this guy. So we're going to leave that cooking for about half hour, 40 minutes, depending on the doneness that you like your rice. So today for our meat, we are working with elk from North Fork bison. I love working with elk. It is absolutely easier than you think, and it always turns out delicious. For our marinade, we'll be using Grace Jamaican honey jerk sauce. This is absolutely fantastic. If you want a little bit more heat, they have other options for you that will give you just that upper spice that you're looking for. Couldn't be happier with the way these look as well. Okay, and so we want to get a good coat on both the side of these. So be generous. We are all about flavor, so don't be afraid. Fantastic thick coating that's really going to stick to our meat. Now we'll give those a turn. Do your best to get it on the sides as well, just so you get a full coating. Grace Foods have been dedicated to bringing the taste of Jamaica and authentic Caribbean to Canadian homes for years. With a wide selection of marinades and sauces, Grace Jerk products was an easy choice for our Caribbean barbecue night. With matching these bold flavors, we immediately thought that North Fork bison elk top sirloin steaks were the perfect fit. That looks great. So now what you're gonna do is let these sit. You really want those juices to work into the meat for at least 15 minutes, and then we'll get those on the grill and get them cooked up.
This Wild Sips is brought to you by Hip Vodka.
Welcome to Wild Sips. My friend Erin, my good friend Erin, is joining us again today. So today, really embracing Caribbean flavors. I'll be making a jerk elk steak with coconut rice and a mango salsa.
That's excellent. That is excellent. Taking the idea of the flavors of the Caribbean, one of my very favorite cocktails in the whole world is called a French 75. But I've decided to make, instead of a French 75 for our Caribbean feast, I decided to make a French Caribbean 75. Because we have this beautiful mango vodka.
Yes, we do.
Mangoes come from the Caribbean. You've got mango in your, right? Like it's all working out very well. Okay, so I've got my shaker filled with ice, and I am going to add in all of my things. So first of all, we're going to use our Hip vodka. This is our Hip mango flavor. And by the way, this is Canadian, which is very exciting.
Oh, excellent.
Isn't that fun?
I love that.
So we're going to use a full 1.5 ounces.
Okay.
So, and you know what? I'm gonna make one for both of us, so I'm gonna do 3 ounces, right?
Okay.
Because 1.5 ounces times 2 is 3 ounces. Okay, so 3 ounces.
And I love cooking with this
smells
as
really,
well, with the Hip vodka.
Yeah,
Yes.
It smells really, really enticing. We're going to do, for one drink, it would be 2 ounces of our passion fruit puree, but we're actually going to do 2 because I'm doubling it up. And then what we're going to do for a single drink, we would use a 1/2 ounce each of simple syrup and then 1/2 ounce of lime juice, but I'm gonna double it for a full ounce of lime juice. Okay?
I'm really smelling those flavors.
Yeah.
It's like very fragrant.
Doesn't that smell amazing? Like just so tropical and inviting and refreshing. I love that. Okay, so we're gonna give it a good shake.
Okay.
And you wanna shake it till it's well chilled, probably a good 30 seconds, believe it or not.
And how will I know at that point that it's well chilled?
Because your elbow will get a headache in it.
Fair enough.
Like the ice cream headache? Okay, so my hand actually hurts, so I feel like that's enough. And we're going to strain it into our flutes. So as always, my dear, I will do you first.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so we're just going to do a little bit of a 1/2 pour, and then I'm going to top it. The recipe calls for 2 ounces of dry sparkling wine.
Okay.
But I also would say 2 ounces or enough to top. So that might be 3, it might be 4, it might be 1, whatever you've got going on. I see your dog staring at us.
Yes, he's wanting attention.
He is wanting attention. Tell me what you think of that.
Okay.
So this is our French Carribean 75 made with our hip mango vodka.
Oh, that is so refreshing.
Isn't that good?
That is so good.
I love that.
That is so yummy.
This portion of the Wild Grill is brought to you by Napoleon Grills.
Let's get into our mango salsa. You know, mango is one of those fruits that you think of when you think of the tropical islands and the fresh fruit, the bountiful fruit that they have there. So why not pair it with our elk steaks today? So I have about 2 mangoes diced up in this bowl. So now we're gonna add in our onions. Feel free to add in as much onion as you like. Some people like a little bit more than others. I'm gonna put in about 1/2 of what I have here. Now look at that purple and orange already mixing together. It's absolutely beautiful. Next, let's add in our cilantro. All right, so we'll just grab a bunch of cilantro here, take those right off, and I'm just gonna finely chop this up. As I'm working here today and creating this beautiful Caribbean-inspired menu, I'm smelling all these flavors and they're reminding me of when I was 19. I worked at the American Hospitality Academy, and I was so blessed to be able to live with a few women that were from Jamaica. And when it was their turn to cook throughout the week, the smells that would be coming from the kitchen would have my mouth watering long before I was able to eat. They were beautiful people from a beautiful culture. So blessed to get to know them. So now let's get our cilantro in there and then give that a stir. And then all we need is a little lime juice. And that's really going to bind these flavors together. Oh, fantastic. That is looking beautiful. I think my Jamaican sisters would be proud of me now if they could see me. So from here, I just want to have a peek at our rice and see how it's doing. Rice is one of those fickle things that you always want to just check on a couple of times if you're able. Oh yes. I can already feel how tender that's getting as I stir it. Don't be afraid if it sticks to the bottom a little bit, just try to loosen it. However, that char on rice really adds to the depth of the flavor, so a little bit is actually going to be a blessing to your meal. So our rice is almost done there. Now let's get our elk right on the grill. All right. Here we go. Oh, already I can smell that. As soon as it hits the grill, that aroma is just jumping off. Let's get that closed up. I cooked elk about a week ago and it did not take long to cook. I'm looking for an internal temperature of about 135 to 145. Now I've placed my elk as farthest to the right as I can so that when I flip it, I have clean grill marks that I can go ahead and get that sear that I'm looking for. Always, whenever you flip, you want to use your clear grill marks. I've worked my way down the grill. My steaks are done. Let's go ahead and get them off because I sure want them to rest before we cut into this deliciousness. Oh, very happy with that. Next, let's have a look at our rice. Here we are. Oh, look at that. By jeebers, it looks delicious. All right, let's give this a bit of a stir here. Oh, look at, oh, a nice little crust. That's what I wanted to see. I'm really happy with that. All right, let's start to plate up. Look, Mom, look what I did. Now let's get our mango salsa on the plate. These colors already. It's looking beautiful. It's great. And now let's cut into our meat. That is beautiful. That is just the way I was hoping it would look. Since we're going for the jerk flavor, I'm going to be using a jerk barbecue sauce. All right, just a little dollop there. That is perfect. This looks amazing, friends, and I'm sure it's gonna taste just as good. And that's what I'm gonna do. I wanna get in here and get a little bit of my rice. It is so good. I can taste the coconut coming through on the rice. And then that jerk sauce, I have the bite at the back of my mouth, but the sweetness of the barbecue sauce, that is like a marriage.
The Wild Grill is brought to you by Napoleon Grills, North Fork Bison,
I have a great recipe to end off a fantastic meal. We are going to be deep frying coconut crusted pineapple rings. This is absolutely delicious, and for anybody who loves pineapple, this is also a great way to finish off our meal because pineapple actually has bromelain in it, and those are enzymes that break down meat protein really well. So, considering we've had our elk, it is time to eat this useful yet delicious fruit. So let's get in and we'll cut up our rings. We don't want them too thick, right? About probably ½ an inch across. And let's just start with 4. So what you want to do is set your rings in a low dish because we're going to marinate them. And what we're going to marinate them with is some pineapple juice, as well as hip vodka. And this one is absolutely delicious. The flavor is mango. All right, so we will put in just enough to really get that mango flavor to penetrate the pineapple. So our rings have been marinating for about 15 minutes and I want to get started on the batter now. So I have 2 eggs in this bowl and I'm just going to add about ½ a can of our coconut milk. That looks great. And now let's whisk this up. Try to get any lumps out, get it as smooth as you can. All right, happy with that. And now we will pick up one of our rings and just give it a little pat. You want to try to get a little bit of the excess moisture off. Let me get a paper towel. There's one of our rings. A little pat, pat, and then right into our batter. Oh, that's lovely. And then from there, I'm going to take it from our batter and put it right into our bowl of just flour. all-purpose flour. Okay, we're gonna flip that guy over. Get a nice coating. And now, we're actually gonna put it back into our egg and coconut milk batter. Flip it over, and from here, we are going right into our coconut. Oh, I'm pleased with how it's already sticking. That's fantastic looking. So as you know, friends, when you're working with oil, deep frying anything, distance is key. You want to keep as much space in between you and your oil as possible. So for these, I'm going to be using the long tongs, and we'll get these on there. What a quick and super simple dessert you can have ready in no time at all. So all I'm gonna do now is plate this up, get the presentation going. That is great. And then to top it off, all you wanna do is a little dusting of icing sugar. That is fantastic. As you can see, wild game cooking does not have to be your typical sausages or ground meat. With a little imagination and experimentation, you can enjoy a world of flavors right on your grill. For more information on today's recipes, check out our website. And thanks for joining us on the Wild Grill Full of Flavor. I'm gonna get into this. Oh yeah. Oh, that's juicy. And that was a good crunch.